Welcome back to the Little B Big B podcast. I'm Big B. Little B is under the weather this week, so yours truly is going to be doing all the takes. I'm going to get in with about the Cowboys. As y'all know, Mike McCarthy is gone. We're looking for a new leader. I'm going to talk about that. Then I'm also going to talk about last week's playoff games, give you my 2 cents on what I saw, and then we're going to get into this week's games and who I think may move on to the next round. Might be some surprises. So we want to get into it. My first take: the Dallas Cowboys has let go Mike McCarthy. You, yes, sir. Jerry Jones. Thank you, my guy. You finally did something. You came to your senses. Yeah, that dude. Hey, you had 5 years. You tried 12-5 as best you could do, bruh. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. You got an NFC East championship. That's all you could do. Thank you. Let's move on. So, with that being said, we got. I'm seeing a lot of different people. They're saying they could be our coach. And I'm going to go through the list of what I've heard. It was Deion Sanders, Ben Johnson, Joe Brady, the Bills OC, Aaron Glenn, Cliff Kingsbury, Leslie Frazier, he's getting interviewed this week, Robert Sala, also interviewing this week, Jason Witten, what? And Bill Belichick and Kevin O'Connor. I don't think Kevin O'Connor, because he's with Minnesota, and I don't think they're going to let him go. But hey, we'll see. Um, so I'm gonna go through each candidate. So Deion Sanders, I would love to have Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders could definitely work with Jerry Jones. He's you know he will take over the room. Um, him and Jerry, they are, as you know, rock stars, and but I don't think Jerry could overpower Dion. And the other thing is Dion, he's his pedigree. He's a winner. Two rings, Super Bowl rings. What he did on the football field was the best corner, arguably part of the best corner in NFL history, right? Um, Hall of Famer. The locker room will respect him. Everybody in that locker room is going to respect him, give him up and respect, and he will command respect, and he will have, and it will be real. Uh, Everybody will be accountable. He will hold people accountable. So Dion will be my number one, but I don't think Dion's going to come. I think he's going to stay at Colorado. You got two kids coming. One, I think, is the number one quarterback in high schools coming to Colorado, and number one quarterback from a transfer portal is coming there too. So I think Dion still got some things he want to accomplish at Colorado, and I think he's going to stay. Ben Johnson, Ben Johnson's default. Everybody want Ben Johnson. He's the new toy that everybody wants. Um, Ben Johnson is does he has, as you see, he has pretty much resurrected Jared Goff's career. Play action, a line that's physical, running back. He has those guys, doing some unbelievable things. The offensive scheme that he has at Detroit is unbelievable. Him coming to the Cowboys and working with Dak, if we get that running back from Boise State, Gente, if we get him, I think Ben Johnson will be a good fit, and he knows how to build a lineup because the Detroit Lions offensive line is physical and nasty, and I think he could bring in some pieces. Then Joe Brady, Bills OC, I like it. What he has done with Josh Allen and that offense is unbelievable. Like I said, I don't really know anybody offensively on the Bills, and I saw him play uh, this past weekend. They're physical. He could. I think he would do well, and he's offensive minded. I mean he's OC, but I like an offensive minded coach. I don't mind the defensive minded head coach, but the offensive minded head coach seems like it seems like it works more to me. But I mean, I just from what I'm seeing, my the eye test or my experience of watching different teams seem like more so the offensive minded coaches are more successful. Uh, that's just me. I could be wrong. Aaron Glenn, Detroit Lions defensive coordinator. Once again, I'll take him too. A young cat. I know he probably bring some people on board that they put a great team together at Detroit. So he knows how to build a winning team. So he's been with uh, Dan Campbell. He knows the formula to get a winning team, and he also was an ex-NFL player. Uh, Cliff Kingsbury, OC for the Commanders. I'll take him too because he's good with quarterbacks. He can help Dak out. Dak would do well with him. He you see what he's doing with Jaden Daniels. You see what he did with Caleb Williams. He even worked with my mind's short right now. Kyler Murray for Arizona, so he would be good for Dak, and he could bring I think just him being a OC and also him how he is with the quarterbacks. He's a quarterback whisperer. I would definitely like him. Leslie Frazier, don't it's he was at Minnesota. I think he did all right. But I don't think he Jerry Jones will overpower him. That's just my take. Uh, Robert Sala, solid. I like him. Locker room like him. You see his defense was at the Jets. The Jets, his defense was always top 10. I could say the same with Leslie Frazier too. Top 10. He had a great defense. He was a great defense coordinator at the Buffalo. So great. Jason Witten, no. Bill Belichick, no. Just Jason Witten. He'll be the same thing as if we had Jason Garrett. Yeah, you won a lot of games, but you didn't do nothing. And I heard he was not great in the locker room. So I'll say no to Jason Witten. Bill Belichick, no. Would not want Bill Belichick. He's a at North Carolina University. No, I just want somebody younger and more innovative. So no, I wouldn't want to get Bill, but yeah, we're in search. It's a good thing. I mean, we got some. This is positive for the Cowboys. A positive thing. So that's my take. My second take: the wild card games this past weekend. There were some good ones. Uh, we know that this year, well, I know this year, there's a lot of parity in the league, a lot. And anybody, I think this is the year of anybody can win this Super Bowl. And we saw this last week. The Ravens and Steelers game, Steeler, pretty much. Let me say this, Steeler fans. Why do you want to fire Mike Tomlin? I don't get it. I would love to get Mike Tomlin, and you know what? I should add him on the list, on that list. I trade for Mike Tomlin. I give Dak for Mike Tomlin. The guy wins every year. I know he has not. I know he's one and done in the playoffs. He's probably got the worst record of one and done in the playoffs. But the dude brings y'all there every year. Your offense is trash. I'm talking about as the personnel, the scheme is trash. But he still somehow, some way coaches y'all that team up, and he makes y'all haven't had a losing record. But you still want to fire this guy. You know what? Don't fire Mike Tomlin. Fire your GM. Because your GM cannot get you another quarterback or another running back or lineman. Let's start with linemen. When's the last time y'all had a great offensive line? I mean, listen. You give this guy a lemon, he's making lemonade. That game that y'all played against the Ravens, all it was that they had more skilled players. Right, the Ravens had more skilled players than the Steelers. The Ravens just had more talent, and that's all it was. Ravens scored, and the Steelers could not counteract that. They could not score themselves. It was touchdowns, Ravens, uh, 3 and out, Steelers. That's what it was. That's all it came down to. And that's it. So hopefully next year, y'all get some more some talent on the offense. That's all it came down to. Really, really, y'all shouldn't have been in the playoffs with the talent y'all had. Y'all shouldn't. The man can coach. It's crazy. Okay, the Packers and Eagles game. Packers lost that game themselves. Jordan Love made too many mistakes, gave Eagles a short field, and that was it. Saquon really didn't do much, but he had some like 70 yards in the first quarter. Other than that, he was just pretty much at the end. He was just running the ball to run the clock out. The Eagles Eagles defense is lights out. They are the number one defense in the NFL. They are the number one defense in the NFL. That's how they play. They are lights out. But you better we hope and pray because I've been saying it this whole season. Y'all's offense, the Eagles' offense is horrible. Sometimes, here's a formula. Here's a formula for a Super Bowl team. It's pretty much this is a how can I say? This is a profile of a Super Bowl team. If the defense has a bad day, the offense has to pick them up, and it's vice versa. So, why I'm saying all that, if the Eagles' defense has a bad day during these playoffs, the Eagles' offense is not built to carry them to a victory. Yes, you got Saquon, but that's all you have is Saquon. Y'all's offensive, y'all's pass offense is horrendous. So Eagles better hope and pray that they that their defense can be consistent through these whole playoffs. Because if they have a bad day, you might as well pack up and get ready to go to Bahamas or wherever, Cancun, whatever. Because your offense is not, the Eagles' offense is not going to carry them. And that's all they get. That game was pretty much just that the Packers made a bunch of mistakes and the Eagles capitalized on it, and that was it. That's really it. I still don't believe in the Eagles going to the Super Bowl, but that's me, and I'm not hating. I'm just it's the eye test. It's the eye test. I've been saying I've been saying it all year long. Kellen Moore's offense scheme is garbage. Okay. So moving on to the Broncos and Bills. Man, Josh Allen, Josh Allen, Josh Allen. A little bit of Cook, the running back, but it's Josh Allen. That team runs through him. That dude reminds me of Sammy Baugh. He like he playing football back in the 40s. The dude's just it's unbelievable that what he does, man. It's just he's just like he does it all. He can throw it if he needs to. He'll run you over like a running back. He's really the true MVP. If he goes down, that team is a losing team. It's just him. Yeah, Broncos. Yeah, y'all young. Y'all be back next year. But it's just Bo Nix was young, made a lot of mistakes, and just the Bills is like is on a heater right now. They balling out, and it's once again Josh Allen is pretty much the key. It's it. It's it. Um, the Minnesota, so the Commanders and the Bucks, great game. It was a great game, and Todd Bowles, you called a great scheme, defensive scheme, but Jaden Daniels, he, he would he pretty much stopped the execution of your defense. But that kid, Jaden Daniels, is unbelievable. The linebacker on Tampa Bay had him dead to rights, and Jaden Daniels floated away from the dude. The dude had the angle and everything. It was unbelievable. That kid, Jaden Daniels, is something special. And I knew it. I called it that they was going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because of him. You give him the ball at the end of the game, oh, you pretty much can put your hat on it that the Commanders going to win. Baker Mayfield made that one mistake with that fumble, and that was the key of the game right there. That pretty much, that was it. That right there was a turning point of the game. Mike Evans was balling out Mike Evans is a grown man, a grown man. Yeah. He had Lattimore on roller skates, bro. He had to get some help. That's the one thing I say about the Commanders, and that's why I say I don't really like I mean, when Dan Campbell was our DC, his uh, Dan Campbell sometimes as a DC would get stubborn. He gonna stick with his scheme or what he's calling, and he's gonna ride it out, good, bad, or whatever, right? But Lattimore was getting destroyed, and I said, you know what? He needs help. And I said, I know Dan Campbell, he's not gonna give a dude help, but they made an adjustment, and it wasn't Dan Campbell. It was his DC who got Lattimore some help, and that was it. That was one of the key. I think that was one of the biggest factors of that game was, you know, well, the fumble, like I said, but he did give Lattimore some help. So Dan Campbell, hey man, you picked the right coaches, and once again, man, it's really Jaden Daniels. It all starts with him. He's it. He's that he's special, man. And it's so sad that he's in our division from years to come. God bless him. Man, it hurts. I don't like y'all. I don't like y'all, but man, that dude is something special. Uh the Minnesota Vikings and the Rams game. You know what happened? Sam Donald became Sam Donald at the wrong time, man. He showed the old Sam came back, bruh. Now, and I'm sorry. It is because the Rams, I think what the Rams did when how the Rams came out and they scored, I think it was up by 14, it was 14 nothing real quick, is that now the game plan changed. Now you're playing catch up, and I think that's what happened. I think Sam they had to call a different type of offense, and he started doing some old stuff, holding the ball too long, things of that nature. And when Matt Stafford's on a heater, man, hey, it's hard to stop it. When he's on, he's on. And my nephew called it. He said the Rams was going to do something, and they like that, man. They're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem for real. And like I said, there's a lot of parity in this league. Doing in this playoffs, there's a lot of parity. Ain't no one team that I see that's going to take it all. And the Rams is right there in it. You don't be surprised you won't see them, representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. So yeah, but Minnesota got some questions they got to ask, during the off season. They had a hell of a season, but hey, it is what it is. Texans and Chargers. Texans got it right at the right time. They got it right at the right time. So the Texans, I can see them going on a run. Don't think that the kid that game against the Chargers for real is young. Jim Harbaugh's a hell of a coach. They just missing some pieces. You know, uh, Justin Hubert, he's gonna be all right. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to get that thing turned around. They had a good season, first year back in the NFL, and he made the playoffs. Hey, they're gonna be all right. But um, the Texans, man, they got great defense, offense clicking down. They're gonna be a problem. They're gonna be a problem going KFC. They're gonna when they play KFC, we'll see what's up. Because I seen a team like this. I see the New York Giants do it. Come at Jones a wild card and win it all. They did it twice. So hey, y'all clicking at the right time. Yeah. So that's my take on the wild card. It was a wild one, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll let y'all know in the next take. All right, take three. The playoffs. Playoffs. Yeah. It's a playoff preview. Uh, so as you know, this is it right now. You know, ain't no more buys. Everybody playing. This is it. You got the games. You got 4 games. You know, this is it. After this, we got the NFC AFC Championship. So uh, the games, the matchups that we got is the Texans and the Chiefs. That's the first one. I know everybody think the Chiefs is going to pretty much steamroll the Texans. I think the spread's like -8, -9, something stupid. I don't think it's going to be like that for real. I think the Texans got it right. I think Texas is clicking. They fixed what they had to fix, and I think this game's going to be closer than what people think. Um, yeah, KFC they was on a bye. Uh, And I've seen, like I said before, I've seen the New York Giants go from a wild card, man. They pretty much win it all. So it's going to be a good game. The key to the Texans is they need to control the ball, right? Control the ball, keep the ball out of Pat Mahomes' hand as much as possible, and that's going to be the key. Is going to be Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon needs to have a big day if Texas is trying to pull the upset. You know, Pat's going to be Pat. KC going to be KC, but I think Texans do have a fighting chance. And them dudes was last year. Nobody didn't think they was going to do nothing, and you see what they did. They've been here, so they got some playoff experience too. So ain't like they haven't been here before. And when you got that young lineman who's hungry, bruh, you don't know what's going to happen. They want to eat too. So, it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be what everybody thinks it's going to be. Going to be a blowout. I don't see that. The other game, Commanders and the Lions. Woo! Hey, I told you the Commanders going to go far, man. I'm telling you, the Lions, they are playing great football, physical team. They, all 3 phases, man, they like that. They are. But the key, I think, is going to be if somehow Dan Quinn and his decent is a defensive coordinator can come up with a scheme to slow down that run game, because Jared Goff needs that play action. If somehow y'all can kill the run, if somehow Commanders can kill the run games of the Lions, then we might have a game. But my number for the Commanders to win, they got to score at least 35 points. They score 35 points, they have a chance to beat the Lions. Uh, Great matchups. I see Lattimore. He can handle St. Brown. I can see that. And that man, that number 5. You know that number 5. He's something special. Jaden Daniels. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. So it's gonna be a good game. I don't. That's my upset for real. Is that game? Commanders beat the Lions. So 35 points. If they can score 35 points, which they was averaging like some dumb number like that during the season, right? So it's this doable. It's possible for them. Rams and the Eagles. Just like I said, Matt Stafford is playing great ball, man. I mean, he walking around. He got that swag back. He like the Matt Stafford of old. And if he goes back on, he goes like I said. If he has another heater, Eagles is in trouble. If the Eagles defense does not slow down the Rams offense, they're gonna have a problem. The Eagles are gonna have a problem because they will not score like the Rams can score. Rams has some some great receivers, and what they did to Minnesota, they got Minnesota in the hole, and Minnesota had to change their whole game plan. So you know, you better hope you don't get in the hole. I think that's the key. I think that's going to be one of the keys for the Rams. If the Rams can come out and get a lead on the Eagles, and the Eagles got to play catch up, this one's going to be a problem. That's what's going to be a problem. But I'm going to say all these are some great games. I mean, it's going to be a good game. So that's my take on the Rams and Eagles. Ravens and the Bills. This is the game of all games. This is going to be one heck of a game. And this pretty much can probably go down with it's going to be whoever has a ball last will win the game. I think that's what's going to happen with the Ravens and the Bills. I know the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken, got into them during regular season, but yeah, it's going to go back and forth, man. It's going to be a heavyweight fight. It's a slugfest. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking whoever got the ball last is going to win the game. That's what I feel with the Ravens and the Bills. We'll see. And Josh Allen, it's going to probably must be just be two quarterbacks running the ball with a splash of running backs. It's going to be crazy. Uh, that's going to be that's going to be the game of the week is that one. But all those going to be good games. Like I said, this is a great. Football was been trying to have parity for years with the salary caps and all that different things they put in, and now I've known it's been over 2 decades when we had the salary cap and all that. It's finally coming to tuition right now. And it's actually happening. There's really no dominant team. It's any given Sunday, any given as we now, any given Saturday, whatever. It's really football is really good and exciting. There's no one team that just is dominant. Every it's just I love it. It's just play the game. Just play the game, and that's where football is now. We just got to play the game. You don't know who's really going to win, and it's awesome. I'm glad to see how the league is now. It is the excitement is the excitement of just football. Period. I know my boys ain't there, but we're gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I miss my son. Hey, get well, boy. We'll see you next week. But we'll be back. Little B, Big B podcast. We out.